Hello everyone. In the last video, we have started with a new subtopic, that is extremals with conditions. Okay, we have already solved one example based on that. Now let us look at one more example. Vy of x is equal to integral from 0 to 1 x square plus y dash square dx. Y at 0 is equal to 0 and that is equal to y at 1, such that integral from 0 to 1 y square dx is equal to 2. So let us consider k x y y dash. Okay, so now this is our capital F and this will be capital G. Okay, and we will construct k x y y dash, which is equal to F plus lambda times G, that is equal to x square plus y dash square plus lambda into y square. Okay. Then differentiating it with respect to y will be 2 lambda y. Differentiating it with respect to y dash is equal to 2 y dash. Therefore, Euler-Lagrange differential equation will be given by Euler-Lagrange differential equation for k will be given by ky minus d by dx of ky dash equal to 0. So that is 2 lambda y minus 2 y dash y double dash. Okay, this will be 2 y dash, and differentiating 2 y dash with respect to x will be 2 y double dash equal to 0. So this will again give us the differential equation y double dash minus lambda y equal to 0. Okay, the auxiliary equation corresponding to this will be m square minus lambda equal to 0. So that will imply m is equal to plus or minus root of lambda. Again, as we have seen in the previous example, we will have to take cases on lambda and find out for which value of lambda we get a non-trivial solution. Because if we get the trivial solution, that means y of x identically equal to 0, then in this it will not satisfy this isoperimetric condition. Okay, let us take case 1 if lambda is equal to 0. If lambda is equal to 0, then in this what happens is this, here we will get 0, and therefore y of x will be of the form c1x plus c2. Then from the initial conditions we will have to determine what is the value of c1 and c2. So y at 0 is equal to 0 implies that c2 is equal to 0, and y at 1 is equal to 0 implies that c1 is equal to 0. Okay. Therefore y of x is equal to 0, and clearly from here it will not satisfy this isoperimetric condition. Therefore we take the next case. lambda strictly greater than 0, then let lambda be equal to some mu square. Okay, then if we put here mu square, what we will get is m is equal to plus or minus mu, and therefore the solution y of x will be of the form c1 e raised to mu x plus c2 e raised to minus mu x. Okay, then from the initial conditions y of 0 is equal to 0 will imply that c1 plus c2 is equal to 0. Y at 1 is equal to 0. This will imply that c1 into e raised to mu plus c2 into e raised to minus mu is equal to 0. Okay, and this tells us that c1 is equal to minus of c2. So again, if we substitute it here, minus of c2, then c2 we can take it common out and it will be e raised to minus mu minus e raised to mu equal to 0. Okay, so that will imply that c2 is equal to 0, which in turn also implies that c1 is equal to 0. And once we get c1 and c2 both as 0, then this y of x will be identically equal to 0. That means again a trivial solution, and it will not satisfy the isoperimetric condition. Therefore, this case is also not possible. Then we take case 3 where lambda is strictly less than 0. Then let lambda be equal to minus mu square. So if it is minus mu square, then in this equation here it will be equal to plus or minus mu square. That will be plus or minus mu into I. Okay, and under this case the solution y of x will be of the form c1 cos of mu x plus c2 sin of mu x. Y at 0 equal to 0 implies c1 equal to 0, because when we put 0 here, this term goes and cos of 0 is 1. So c1 is equal to 0, and y at 1 equal to 0 implies c2 sin of mu is equal to 1. Now if c2 is equal to 0, then again we will get a trivial solution. For getting the non-trivial solution, let c2 be not equal to 0. Then it implies that this into this is equal to, this should be equal to 0. Y at 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so c2 into sin of mu is equal to 0. So if c2 is non-zero, that means this term has to be equal to 0. That means mu is equal to n into pi. Therefore, mu c2 not equal to 0, then mu is equal to n into pi, where this n belongs to integers. Okay, but again you see here what will happen is we have taken that this mu if n is equal to 0, then this will go to 0. So mu is equal to 0, but we have taken lambda strictly less than 0, and therefore clearly from here we can see that this will not be equal to 0, but we will get some other number here other than 0, other integer. Okay, so it implies mu is equal to n into pi, and c1 is already 0, so the solution y of x will look of the form c2 sine of n pi x. N pi x. So to determine this c2, we also know that this should also satisfy the isoperimetric condition that is given. Okay, so we will use this condition to determine the value of c2, and that will be integral from isoperimetric condition we get integral from 0 to 1 y square dx is equal to 2. So that is integral from 0 to 1 c2 square sine square n pi x dx equal to 2. So this will be c2 square integral from 0 to 1 minus cos of 2 n pi x by 2 dx is equal to 2. So this will be c2 square by 2 integral from 0 to 1 minus integral from 0 to 1 cos of n pi x dx equal to 2. So this will be c2 square equal to c2 square by 2 into 1 minus integral from 0 to 1 cos of 2 n pi x dx. This will be sine, and then we will get it to be equal to 0 because sine at 2 n pi will be 0 and sine at 0 is 0. Okay, so we will be left with this one equal to 2. So that implies c2 square is equal to 4. So c2 is equal to plus or minus 2, and therefore the solution y of x is equal to plus or minus 2 sine of n pi x. And now to determine the extremum value, okay, y of x is equal to integral from 0 to 1 x square plus it is y dash square. So y of x is equal to this. Y dash will be n pi cos of n pi x into plus or minus 2. Okay, and then that will be equal to this y dash the whole square. Okay, this dx. Okay, and then you can evaluate this by taking this square. Then we will get the term x square plus this will be n square pi square into cos of n pi cos square n pi x. So once you integrate that, you will get the final value, and then by putting particular value of n, we can find out what is the minimum value. This you all can complete it by using the integration formulas. Now let us look at one more example. Vy of x equal to integral from 0 to 1 y square plus y dash square dx, and the points are given as 0, 0 and 1, 0. So what does this mean? Y at 0 is equal to 0, y at 1 is equal to 0. Such that integral from 0 to 1 y square dx is equal to 1. So let us consider Ly of x to be equal to integral from 0 to 1 f plus lambda into g dx, okay, where f is equal to this, g is equal to this, okay. So here our k is equal to y square plus y dash square plus lambda into y square. So now we will write the Euler-Lagrange differential equation corresponding to this. So that will be differentiating k with respect to y, differentiating k with respect to y dash, and therefore Euler-Lagrange differential equation will be given by 2y plus 2 lambda y minus 2y double dash equal to 0. Okay, so we will get y double dash minus lambda y minus y equal to 0. So here we will get the equation as y double dash minus lambda plus 1 into y equal to 0. Okay, the auxiliary equation will be of the form m square minus lambda plus 1 equal to 0. So that will imply m square is equal to lambda plus 1. So m is equal to plus or minus root of this lambda plus 1. Now we will have to take the cases in such a way that this is equal to 0, this is strictly greater than 0, and this is strictly less than 0. Okay. So if the case is case 1, if lambda plus 1 is equal to 0, because in order to determine what is y of x from this equation, we need to know what is the nature of these roots, okay, whether it is real, complex, or real and repeated, and therefore we need to take these cases. Okay, so if it's equal to 0, then the roots will be of the form then we will get the solution c1x plus c2. Okay, and then if you put these initial conditions, you will observe that I will not solve here in detail, but let me say it here. So if you put the initial conditions, then you will observe that y of 0 is equal to 0, so that will imply c2 is equal to 0, and y at 1 is equal to 0, and that will imply c1 is equal to 0, and hence we will get the trivial solution, that is y of x identically equal to 0, and it will not satisfy the isoperimetric condition, and hence we will conclude that this case is not possible. Okay, Then we will get one more case, lambda plus 1 strictly greater than 0. So let lambda plus 1 be equal to some mu square. If it is mu square, then this will be plus or minus mu, and in that case we will get the solution as c1 e raised to mu x plus c2 e raised to minus mu x. Then under that condition you will have to put these initial conditions and see whether we get the trivial solution or the non-trivial solution. And then the next case will be m equal to lambda plus 1 strictly less than 0. Okay, under this case you will get, if we will say let lambda plus 1 be equal to some minus of mu square, so we will get the solution in terms of trigonometric functions, that is c1 cos of mu x plus c2 sine of mu x. Okay, and then again you will have to argue depending on whether we are getting the trivial solution or the non-trivial solution. I will not solve this problem in detail here, but I have discussed these cases, and you will have to follow the similar steps as we have seen in the previous examples.